on Fightzone. Tonight we'll bring you the usual action-packed Friday night card with some real eye-catching contests at the top of the bill. And we will be back to do it all again tomorrow with a bonus Saturday card featuring a British title eliminator. We'll also, of course, be the home of British boxing all weekend, so it is great to have you with us. If you weren't with us last week, we brought you a proper highlights reel last Friday. Josh Holmes back in the ring with an eye-catching second round stoppage in his fight. Tal went in. Fellow Lancastrian Mark Jeffers living up to the buzz around him, scoring a couple of knockdowns on the way to a technical knockout with a 13th straight professional victory. The first of two title fights on the evening went the way of Wolverhampton's Conor Walker, edging a captivating and keenly contested battle with Levi Ferguson to claim the Midland area welterweight title. And then it was Cash Ali behind a devastating right uppercut who claimed the IBF European heavyweight title with that stunning second round knockout of tough Czech opponent Thomas Salek. The appetite for destruction, Bill, lived up to its name. I'm looking forward to more unmissable action here at the Fightzone Arena this evening. Don't forget, it is, of course, as always, just $4.99 a month for you to subscribe. We're bringing the action live and for free between 5:30 and 7:30, but after that, the main card of the evening requires just $4.99 from you for a month's boxing action. Once again, the White Rhino, Dave Allen, is alongside me in the Friday sunshine, looking very summery. In your get out?
Much better weather today. You know, I'm decked out in some Claudio Loosely wear. You know, The Rock, my favourite man in the world, probably, I would say. Yeah.
Although Cash Ali runs him a close second, you're a fan of Cash, as we all are after what we've seen lately. Tremendous last week. Cash
is a very good friend of mine. Me and Cash have been friends since I was 16. Very nice fella. I get a lot of people saying he beat David Price. He must be a madman. I said no. Cash is a lovely fella, one of the nicest people I know. And his performance last week, he was faultless. He had a great jab. He was hurting the opponent with the jab, and he finished the job with the right uppercut. I thought he looked great, and I think he can go on to do really big things. And I'm an heavyweight as well.
Yes.
You know, and I was very impressed with him. And I'm watching him thinking, we'll give him a miss for now.
Really?
Yeah, you know, Cash is good. He's an old friend of mine, and I love to see him do well. I would love to see him do well, and he's on the track to big things now.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he'll right the David Price wrong, whether he fights David or not. He can right that wrong by going on to do massive things, and I hope and I think he will.
Well, there's a lot of possible fights, aren't there, in that heavyweight division, just in Britain.
Yep.
You look, I think he's ranked around about 11 at the moment. You look all the names above him, from the Dubois to the Gormans to the Joyces, obviously Price himself, as you've mentioned, then all the way up to the big boys at the top. You just don't know if he can keep it together and produce that kind of performance, then there's real big fights ahead.
He's number 11 currently. I'm number 10. But obviously I'm coming back in August.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in the top 10. I'm going to come back and do things my way, take my time. So Cash effectively is number 10.
Right.
You take Fury, Joshua, White out there, the world class, looking at big things. Apart from that, though, I'd love to see him with any of them. Dubois, Gorman, Price again. And I'll give him a good chance. I think
Chisora
possibly. I think Chisora again. He's a pay-per-view name
big
now.
Boy, yeah.
So, but with Richard Towers training him, we're seeing a new Cash Ali.
Yeah.
He's brought out the potential that Cash always had, and it's great to see.
Yeah, no, it really is. It really is, and he looks fit, doesn't he? And looks in good shape. Moves around the ring nicely. He's got good attributes as a fighter.
That's the main thing with Cash, because me and Cash, same age, and we're very similar. We're both very lazy. We was always lazy. We go to the gym, but we was more interested in getting out of the gym and getting something to eat. But I think what it's took Richard, because when me and Cash were in the gym, Richard was like the main man in the gym. We looked up to Richard from being 16, 17, 18. Richard was the man. We wanted to be like Richard. And now Richard trains him. Richard got hold of him. And Richard demands respect, and you have to be in shape for Richard, and Cash knows that. And he also looks much improved as a fighter as well. And I was genuinely very impressed with him last week.
Yeah.
And I want to see him in with the Gormans and the Dubois and try and win that British title, because I think he can.
Interesting. Okay, let's have a little look at what we've got for you this evening. As we have said at the top, there's plenty more tomorrow as well. But here's what we've got just in the first couple of hours for you. Aaron Hayden, who's waited a long time, as many fighters have, obviously, through the COVID times. He's a 3-0 fighter taking on Jamie Quinn, the Centurion fighter, if you will. Tremendous journeyman. You could say same things about MJ Hall in that second contest against Charlie Martin-Stuart, a debutant from Huddersfield, who we hear good things about. That's, as I said, welterweight. And then light heavy, John Carpenter, again making his professional debut up against Ryan Hibbert, Carpenter from Dublin in the light heavyweight division. So those three coming up very shortly. And then, obviously, if we can persuade you, as we really must, to part with just $4.99 for a month's entertainment from Fight Zone. We start with Joel Garside and Josh Cook, two debutants at welterweight. John Patrick Harker also trying to make a name for himself against Brett Fido at bantamweight. Bradley Skeet, now there's a name you will recognise from the past. He's making a comeback after 2 and more years out of the ring, Bradley. Super welterweight now, a new weight for him. Takes on Dale Arrowsmith, trying to re-establish his credentials in the ring. And John Fuchs, wow, that is the best part of a decade that John has been out of the fight game, although been very much a trainer in that time from the area, from Sheffield. He's getting back in the ring, John, against Jordan Granham at super welterweight, same as Bradley. And then really, really impressive rematches, the last two fights tonight. Some would argue, including Kevin Marie, who we talked to last week, who's here again tonight. He felt maybe the fight of the year last year was Danny Whittaker and Chris Healy. Central area heavyweight title fight. They meet again here tonight. And Charlie Schofield and Mickey Ellison, as we heard from Steve Wood last week, terrific matchup for those two. Again, that was a real excellent fight. That is for the vacant English super middleweight title. That is top of the bill on tonight's main card. All of those fights then to look forward to from 7:30 on Fight Zone. What catches your eye there?
Well, obviously, the fights, they might not be the greatest fights now, but John Fuchs coming back.
Yeah.
I spotted John Fuchs 11 years ago and he gave me the biggest beating ever. And I didn't even know who he was at the time. I just knew that it was this fellow who was 5'6" and he was kind of a bit away and he beat me up and I thought, who is that? And it was John Fuchs. He is exceptional.
Yeah.
My lads have been sparring him and he must be one of the most talented fighters in the country, and I genuinely believe that. As far as boxing skill goes, John Fuchs has got it in abundance, you know, and it's amazing to see him back tonight. You know, I really like John as a fella as well, and it's going to be a treat for these fans watching because this man can box. It's unbelievable. Bradley Skeet's on the bill. He's a former British champion, outright Lonsdale belt holder, top class. You know, tonight it's not going to be it's not going to be the hardest fight for him, but it's going to be great to watch fight at that level.
He's finding his way back to the level. See if he's got what he used to have. The beauty, of course, of being in Sheffield for someone like John Fuchs tonight, and then as Fight Zone moves around the country, is for fans to go and see the fighters they really love, up close and personal, and then obviously for the rest of the nation, then they can join in.
John Fuchs and Bradley Skeet, these are top class fighters, and for the people here tonight, the real boxing fans out here, you know, it's going to be a joy to watch. The two main fights, they're going to be competitive. There's going to be effort. There's going to be blood. There's going to be guts all over the place. So you know, the top 4 fights on the bill, you could call it. Yeah. I can't wait to see them.
No, and heavyweight as well, haven't we? Got that rematch between Whittaker and Healy, which everybody says was a belter first time round.
The thing with Chris Healy, I know Chris Healy from the amateur game back in the day. He was an ABA finalist. He was one of the best amateurs around at the time. He was a cruiserweight. Chris, I've sparred Chris for a few of my fights myself. He's got skills coming out of his ears.
Has he?
Depends what shape he's in.
Right.
Danny beat him last time. If Chris is in shape, Chris will give anyone a fight, you know? But it's 10 rounds, and if he's not in shape, Danny Whittaker will drag him into some dark places and possibly might beat him again. It's all up to Chris in my eyes, because if Chris is in shape, he should win the fight. But I know Danny will be fit, and I know Danny will give 100%, and that's why it's interesting for me, because I can't call it. I'll call it after 30 seconds, I'll tell you what's going to happen.
You see, that's what you get your $4.99 for. You get a chance to look at Dave's shirts, you get to hear his expertise. We've got it all for you on Fight Zone, and here's how you get involved. So we are all set to get going here in Sheffield. Once again, as you've come to expect now on a Friday evening, your home of boxing, Fight Zone, up and running again. Let's get to the first contest of the evening then, and Dom McGuinness will bring the fighters out. Dom, all yours.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Matt. What a night we have in store here in the sunshine at the Fight Zone Arena in Sheffield. Well, it promises to deliver. Aaron Hayden is first up against Jamie Quinn, who we saw in action last week, giving Kieran McVarnett a good run out. But Aaron Hayden, real talent. What can he do with Jamie Quinn tonight, who is a bag of tricks himself? Much travelled. What a talent. Aaron Hayden, will get us underway here in Sheffield.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Dennis Hobson, who has brought out the sunshine, welcome to Sheffield, welcome to the Fightzone Arena, and a very warm welcome to our fight fans in attendance here at ringside. A special welcome to our fans viewing us at home on Fightzone. Welcome to the revolution. Let's get the first of our boxers out. Would you please welcome Jamie Quinn? The ring from Martin-Stuart, Lancashire, it's Aaron Hayden. Promotions for Fight Academy, sponsored by JJ Crump and Son, Wow Hydrate, Enable Link, and Ringside. Broadcast live on Fightzone in partnership with Betfred. Thank Fred, it's Friday. Is very proud to bring you an evening of championship boxing. This is 4 3-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Our timekeeper, Mr. Phil Morris. In charge of the action, a referee from Manchester, Mr. Darren Sargentson. Introducing first in the red corner, winning red with black. Official weight, 9 stone, 12 pounds, 5 ounces. A boxing centurion coming to the ring this evening in his 118th professional contest from Stockport, Cheshire, the Devil Child, Jamie Quinn. And across the ring in the blue corner, winning silver grey with green, official weight 9 stone, 5 pounds, 7 ounces. He brings a perfect record, 3-0 from Martin-Stuart, Lancashire, Aaron Hayden.
Well, here we go. The Fightzone Arena, Sheffield, the first bout of the night. What a night we have. The sun shining bright in Sheffield. What a beautiful scene as well. And underway with Aaron Hayden from Martin-Stuart in Lancashire, taking on the very busy Jamie Quinn, who we saw last week give Kieran McVarnock a great fight. Really is a box of tricks, and alongside me is a fella who's also a box of tricks. Mr. Dave Allen, looking fine and resplendent in his very fancy shirt. Dave, you're in great form?
Absolutely fantastic, Tom. It's unbelievably warm. The sun is in my eyes currently. But what I can see is Jamie Quinn, and I love Jamie Quinn. I love Jamie Quinn as a fighter. Over 100 bouts, hardly ever stopped. He was a top amateur. He knows what he's doing. And if this kid's not really good, Jamie will show that. So it's a good test.
Well, Hayden is a talent, no doubt about that. He's a slick fighter. 3 fights to his name. 3 wins. All his fights taking place in 2019, of course, an enforced break for just about everybody with the pandemic. But 3 good fights to his name, and wants to get busy again, as every fighter does. And you know, it's a real tough test after a time out of the ring to get in with Jamie Quinn, who was in there last week right here at the arena. Such a good, busy fighter, as you say, a real talent. And often people look at records, and you look at Jamie's 7 wins, 107 defeats, just 3 stoppages and 2 draws. Doesn't tell anything like the story, Dave.
Well, if you know boxing and you understand the game, you will know 707 and 3 could very easily be 40, 50 and 12. You know, that's professional boxing. Jamie does his job fantastically well. You know, he'll give this lad all the experience he needs. He's going to have to go 4 rounds, and he'll know that beforehand as well. He knows he's going to have to he'll get hit a few times, he'll be made to miss more than a few times. So it's invaluable experience, and I think Jamie may be the best in the country for what he does.
Well, good fast hands there from Hayden, who's enjoying himself in there, as is Quinn. Always tends to warm to his work. But again, he's slick, switch hitter, under the tutelage of Alex Matvienko.
Well, what I like about him so far is he's not headhunting. You know, he's hitting Jamie in the body. It's not a waste of time, because a waste of time while you're boxing trying to hit someone in the head's a stupid thing to say, Don, wouldn't you say? It's not the smartest thing I've ever said. So he's just hitting him in the body, you know, even if you're hitting his arms, you're hitting his forearms, you're hitting his shoulders, you know, just having a little bit of success, just touching Jamie Quinn, you know, picking the points up. Jamie Quinn looks to be enjoying himself very much at the minute there, Dom.
He likes this arena, Jamie Quinn, no doubt about it. But of course, this is what Fight Zone is all about. The lads, boys and girls, getting busy again. Everyone's had a turbulent time the last year, 18 months, and just getting out. And look at the people here, have a great time. This is $4.99 a month, Fight Zone. A fight every Friday and a bonus Saturday now and again, like we're having this weekend. It works out £1.25 for a full fight card. 9 fights tonight, Dave.
I think it's great, and like I said earlier, the 4 main fights, I'm going to call them the 4 main fights. I'd pay $125 for that. I might even pay more than that. And you know, because there's two shows on this weekend, it's 62.5p really.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. So yeah, I'm over the moon with it, and I'm sat here. I'm not watching at home tonight. I'm sat here watching it in the sun. What a I'm with you.
Well, how good is it though to be here? And
Oh,
Sheffield's
beautiful.
not letting us down with the weather. Fantastic night.
I keep missing the boxing because I keep catching myself. Looking how brown I am. Look unbelievable, don't I?
You'd never walk past a mirror, would you?
Round 2.
Well, of course, we hope to be seeing very soon Dave Allen in this very ring. Or, of course, we're taking the show around the country as well, so wherever you do end up fighting, Dave, we look forward to it, because I know you're coming back.
I want to go all over, Dom. I want to fight everywhere. Sheffield, Scotland, Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, Nottingham. All them places.
Why not? Good work again, good fast hands from Hayden.
He's very relaxed. I'm looking at him and I'm thinking he must have a lot of amateur experience. I don't know that for a fact, but he looks very relaxed. He looks good, he looks experienced.
Well, he's called the natural by his manager, Kevin Marie. He's just one of those lads. Big fan of Prince Nassim. You can see elements of that. He's not that kind of guy. He's a different personality, but in the ring, he likes to show the skills, should we say, and you can see that.
Yeah, he's very relaxed. The thing with the Nassim style, Nassim hammers one of the hardest punches. He punches like a middleweight at featherweight, so you know that obviously helped. But I think with Aaron, he looks very good. He looks very, very capable. How old is he? Let me know.
23.
23. He's good. He's good.
Good tight guard from Quinn.
The best thing about Jamie Quinn is if you book him and he's boxing your kid, you're getting 4 rounds every time. There's no doubt about it, you know.
Well, he certainly is the exact kind of character that boxing always needs. Always busy.
He is British boxing. There'll be no British boxing without the Jamie Quinns, without the Dale Harris-Smith who's on tonight, you know, without the Ricky Leaches, without the Cass Hussein. There is no British boxing without them, you know. These are the core of it. You can have your superstars, but you don't have your superstars without your Jamie Quinns.
Yep. just again, good shot selection from Hayden. Good body movement from Quinn, just to avoid that uppercut there that Hayden intended.
For me, I think Hayden's realised he's not getting Jamie Quinn out of there now. You know, he's not putting a lot on his punches. He's just trying to be accurate. He's trying to just hit. He's hitting the gloves. He's scuffing Jamie around the sides and top of the head. But I think he's realised now he's with a very, very good operator. If he didn't know before.
Well, he would have known before. There's no doubt about that, because I was chatting to his coach Alex Matvienko before, and he knows all about Jamie Quinn. Everybody does, and you know, he was having a laugh actually. He said he's not the fighter you'd pick. You wouldn't pick Jamie because again he comes and he gives everybody a real test. But you know, everyone's got so much respect for him. But Hayden, so far so good for him, doing well on his comeback, if you like. It's not a comeback of sorts for everybody, of course, at the moment, but just his 4th fight.
Getting the job done, you know, and Jamie last week he pushed Kieran McVarnett very close, you know, and you'd have to say Hayden's doing a good job. You know, he's won the first 2 rounds pretty comfortably, and he's just getting his eye back in. I would call it getting his eye back in. You know, the timing, the distance, all that time out the ring. You know, it's like probably like a professional debut all over again. So for me, he's performing well.
Kind to Aaron as well. He's actually 27. I thought he was 23.
He looks well for 27, doesn't he?
Seconds out. Round 3.
We're in some chanting from the crowd. That was great with the fans back in the arena. It's really helped the fighters as well. They've all had such fun. We're the 3rd weekend now of the busy Fight Zone calendar, our 3rd Friday in a row, and everybody just absolutely buzzing to be out of the boxing and really enjoying it. Everyone behaving themselves. It's been great to see.
This weather tonight has helped. You know, it's unbelievable. The weather's unbelievable. And outside, how often do you see boxing outside? You don't see it very often, do you?
Well, it's a Dennis Hobson promotion. He's put one outside in a car park in Sheffield in the middle of December. So Dennis will not be deterred. So this is the reward for all of that, the sunshine in Sheffield. As Jamie Quinn, just a little wild with that wide left, gets to work again, and Hayden just tucks up well. Sargent's in the man in the middle tonight, just getting between the fighters.
I wonder when Jamie's out next Friday, possibly.
I'm sure, won't be long.
He'd be boxing tomorrow if he could.
Of course, so much action to come. The main event tonight, it's a rematch. Charlie Schofield taking on Mickey Ellison. Schofield looking for revenge. It's an English super middleweight title. We've got a central area title on the line as well. The 2 heavyweights, Danny Whitaker and Chris Healy. Fantastic action to come here on Fight Zone. But at the moment we are free to air, of course. As Aaron Hayden is having a very useful run out tonight against Jamie Quinn.
Yeah, quite impressive, Hayden. You know, I think he's a very competent, very neat, well-schooled boxer. You know, he's awkward. And when he gets to know someone who wants to fight, you know, it'll make him miss, and then it'll come down to what physical strength and power he's got, how far he's going to go, because he's got the skills, he's composed, he looks like he's got the experience. So the questions will be asked further down the line, I'm sure, but he looks well tonight.
Decent, snappy, fast hands from Hayden. Another good round, and a big smile on the face of Jamie Quinn. As we go into the 4th round, Dave, how are you seeing it?
Well, it's 3 rounds. It's 3 rounds to 0. You know, this is Jamie Quinn's bread and butter. 4 rounds, mess them about, give them the experience. You know, I'm sure when they go back to the changing rooms, Mr. Hayden will go, Jamie Quinn will go, Jamie, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and he'll take a lot from this. But like you say, with the timeout, the last time we boxed seems to be November 2019, and timeout the ring is the worst thing for a boxer. You know, inactivity. So he needs this. He probably needs 2 or 3 more of these, and then he's area title bound for definite.
As you say, inactivity, it's a curse, but everyone's had to be inactive for the reasons that we all know. But if you talk about inactivity, John Fuchs, I know you were talking about him earlier and what a talent. 7 years, and he's coming back, age of 35. Great to see. He thinks he's got a bit more left, as do you.
He's got something left in the tank for definite. I think John, for me, you know, you've got great world champions from this country. You know, you've got Anthony Joshua, you've got Tyson Fury, and a lot of others. I can't think of any right now, even though there's quite a lot of them. There's a lot of great fighters.
Fantastic with Sonny Edwards. I mean, the list goes on and on. If you think in Sheffield, Sonny Edwards based here, but there's 10 world champions at the moment. But you know, again, we're treated to what it is all about tonight.
John Fuchs is as good a boxer as them. He's brilliant as far as skill goes, boxing skill goes. And John, I spoke to John the other week, and me and John are in a similar boat. Me and John both stopped. I stopped boxing at 27 for a while. He stopped, I think, maybe 28, and he never gave it 100%. He never lived the life, and I think he's lived with a lot of regret over the last 5, 6, 7 years, because the skill that man's got, the ability he's got, is unbelievable. He was a finalist in all the national championships as a young man. You know, he was an England representative. He sparred all the top names, and I feel like I think this, for him coming back, is closure on his career, because and I think he can definitely win things. The ability he's got in the gym is a treat. And you know what? I'm gonna do an ad. $4.99 to watch John Fuchs. I'm paying $4.99 just to watch John Fuchs. Never mind the rest. Unbelievable.
Well, we're fortunate to be watching all the very skilled lads in the ring at the moment, and Hayden doing very well. And again, just lets the hands go, urged on by his supporters. Sold a few tickets for this one tonight, as all the fighters have.
Yeah, the atmosphere for 5:30. You know, when I go to shows at 5:30, usually, you know, big arenas, like when I headline the O2.
You mean when you're headlining the O2? You just had to drop that one in there, Dave. Nice one.
So like 5:30, usually there's not many people there, but it's run from 5:30 and it's run all the way through to 11 o'clock. You know, it's fantastic.
Well, Aaron Hayden getting the job done here. It is fantastic. That's what Fight Zone's all about. Every single Friday, Dave, and the odd Saturday thrown into boot.
Still can't believe there's a show tomorrow. Couldn't believe that.
And it's some show as well. Mark Leach, Thomas Asomba, of course. That is tomorrow, final eliminator for the British title. Mark's had to be patient, but now Jamie Quinn goes to work as we enter the final knockings of the 4th and final round in this lightweight contest.
I think having a fighter of Mark Leach's ability as well on the Fight Zone shows really shows that it's a player in the British boxing game, because Mark Leach beat Kezashak, and I was training with Jamie Moore, and Jamie Moore telling me Mark Leach is one of the most talented fighters he's worked with.
He is the Salford Lomachenko.
He's unbelievable talent.
Well, Hayden is one to keep an eye on as well. Sure we'll be seeing more of him on Fight Zone. Good body work. And again, both men really enjoying themselves in their smiles from both chaps. And a good 4-rounder to start the night, Dave.
Yeah, I always enjoy watching Jamie Quinn. He's fantastic at what he does. And I thought Aaron Hayden put in a good performance, you know, and it's something to build on. Hopefully he gets active and he's out in the next month or two.
Well, yep. Slick, good switch hitter. The man known as the Natural, Aaron Hayden. Our scoring referee, Darren Sargison, just totting up his points. Again, so much to come. We're going to see Charlie Martin-Stuart, who takes on MJ Hall. He was on our first Fight Zone card here against James Moorcroft. Moorcroft was excellent that night. We've got Joe Garside, Josh Cook, 2 debutants. That's always brilliant to see. We love to see the debuts, and we've seen plenty of them on Fight Zone. Fascinating to follow all these guys' careers.
They're great to see, and MJ Hall, you're getting 4 rounds again. You know what you're getting with MJ Hall again, so it's these debutants, you know, they're getting the right opponents for them.
Well, we are ready now. The referee is going to call both fighters to the centre of the ring so we can cross for the first and not final time, I'm delighted to say. So our MC, Craig Stephen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic opening contest here at the Fight Zone Arena. Two boxers respecting each other, two game boxers. Please, your appreciation for both our boxers in the ring. We go to Darren Sargenson's scorecard. It reads 40 points to 37. The winner, who is still undefeated from Rottenstall, Aaron Hayden. And please keep the applause going for Jamie Quinn.
There goes Aaron Hayden, good win for him, 4-0 now on his professional record. But I would certainly, from a personal point of view, echo everything that Dave and Dom said in commentary. Jamie Quinn and fighters like Jamie are the backbone of British boxing. Without the Quinns and MJ Hall, who we're about to see in a short while, it would be very difficult for the likes of Aaron Hayden to make progress in the professional ranks, because you need that kind of hard-earned fight, Dave, the way that they will move you around the ring, ask questions of you, make it awkward for you, you'll learn.
Jamie Quinn is one of my favourite fighters. Look at him there. He's first of all, he's a very hard man, of course. You don't get over 100 fights without it, but he's so skilled.
Yeah.
I know he was a top amateur, and he turned pro, and he's gone down the route he's gone down. You know, respect to him for that. And he's just. I think for me, he's the best at what he does. And for Aaron Hayden there, I know he'll go back there and he'll see Jamie and he'll say, "Thank you very much." I'm not sure he enjoyed it, but he'll have learnt lots from it. So, without the Jamie Quinns, you know, there is none of these superstars coming. They need to fight these kind of fighters.
Yeah. Interesting. You can very much see the Naseem Hamed kind of impression that Aaron Hayden's obviously taken from watching, I'm sure, the old videos and so, because that kind of switch and move, they're similar weight, obviously it's super feather, that kind of hanging your chin out, looking good doing it stuff.
I thought it was good, and with that kind of style, you're not going to look great against Jamie Quinn, because Jamie Quinn sees that and thinks, no, I'm here to make you look daft, not the other way around. Yeah. So Jamie's tying him up, he's playing to the crowd, he's doing whatever he needs to do to get through them 4 rounds. But I think when Aaron fights someone that comes to fight him, that's probably 2 or 3 fights away still for him, because he needs to get that experience. Then we'll get to see what he's really all about. When someone comes to try and hit him, then he can make him miss, make him pay. Because with Jamie's thinking, you're not going to make me miss, you ain't going to make me pay, you're not doing either of them things, just not making me look daft. So the rounds are what he needs, the most important thing, the inactivity's out of the way now, and he can build on that. Yeah,
no, that's right. Looking good is great up until the point where someone starts hitting you back, I guess. Yeah, you need these kind of fights with Jamie, because Jamie's made him think a little bit, you know, and he'll go and we'll go back to the gym, we'll go back with Alex and they'll work on it, and I think he's got a future. I've seen winning the area title in the next 12 months and see where he goes from there.
Great achievement, yeah.
Let's hear from Aaron Hayden. Dom is waiting to talk to the winner.
Well, Aaron, big smile on your face. You've got 4 rounds under your belt. You've been a long time out of the ring, as most people are, and you had to get in with the boxer tricks that is Jamie Quinn. How did you feel in there?
Yeah, it was good. It was nice to get a move around again and get the feel of it, the crowds, the weather, and this great venue. It was good, and yeah, Jamie Quinn's, like you say, he's a bag of tricks. He comes to fight, and he's good, yeah. Yep,
sunny Sheffield tonight as well, but as you say, you get the 4 rounds out of the way. I mean, when you get in there and you're in with someone like Quinn, you know it's going the distance. So is that your mentality? Let's just do some good work here, get that rust out of the system.
There's no way I was going in there punching his head off or trying to load up. He's like you say, he's a bag of tricks, he's got a solid head, and he's good, he's really good.
And we can see your style, the switch hitting, and obviously there's a bit of a Prince Naseem kind of influence in your work. That's obviously, you can see it in you. Is that very much an influence for you?
Yeah, of course. Prince Naseem always has grown up, was favourite boxer, still living to this day, still watch him. And yeah, it's a pure joy. You're saying style's a little bit like his.
And what about the Fight Zone arena here and Fight Zone, this platform now that you're boxing on?
It's absolutely brilliant. There's no word for it. It's just something else. It's really good. What a platform to be on. I want to thank Dennis and Kevin and Alex for getting us on this platform. Really enjoyed it tonight.
I'm sure Coach Alex Matvienko will be delighted with you tonight. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Nice young man. and he gets the decision, as you would have expected. Worked hard for it, made to work hard for it by Jamie Quinn, and that'll be very much.
The Friday Night Buzz is back. You can be part of it for just $4.99 a month. Subscribe now at Fightzone.uk. You'll be entered into a draw for 2 ringside tickets at the Fight Zone Arena with a VIP meal included. Get a front row seat for all the action. Head to Fightzone.uk now.
Yeah, we are, of course, free to air for the time being on Seconds Out on YouTube. Various ways you can watch us, obviously via the Fight Zone app after 7:30 each and every Friday, and Saturdays at times to boot, including tomorrow. All of that for just $4.99 a month. You'll find, I'm sure, your way to pay that small amount that you need to take in all the action tonight and in the weeks to come. Got a debutant next in Charlie Martin-Stuart. Do you remember your debut as a pro?
I do, yeah. It was on the Dennis Hobson show, Don Valley Stadium, 2012. It was nerve-wracking. I boxed fellow 1-3, lost 10, drawn 2, Orlando Chesner. And even though I knew I was going to win, it was basically a penalty kick without the goalkeeper, but the posts were 40 metres apart. But you're still nervous. It's the first time, big crowds. And for this fella, he's got to box MJ Hall.
Yep.
And MJ Hall's tough. He knows he's got to go 4 rounds.
Yeah.
He ain't getting rid of him in 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, a round, 2 rounds. It's going 4 rounds, so he knows, and that's the longest he'll ever box. As amateur boxers, you can't go longer than 3-minute rounds. So I'm sure he'll be nervous.
They often say, don't they, slow down when you become a pro. The busyness, the franticness of amateur fights, because you're trying to pack it into 3 rounds, you slow down. But good pro fighters like MJ Hall, like Jamie Quinn, they'll find ways to make it hard for you. You'll be nervous, you'll lose a lot of energy.
With MJ Hall, he's super tough. So I'm just thinking, what am I going to do? Just box him. Just box. I want to see this man. I want to see him box. Just get the job done. It's your first fight. Just win it. It doesn't matter what happens. Just win it and move on. Go to the next one.
Yeah, he's high tempo, Charlie Martin-Stuart from Huddersfield, and MJ Hall awaits. Fighters ready to make their entrances. Back to Dom.
Thank you very much indeed, Matt. And on we go with the action. What a start we had with Aaron Hayden and Jamie Quinn, and well, what can Charlie Martin-Stuart bring to the table against the teak-tough MJ Hall? We saw Hall in action against James Moorcroft a couple of weeks ago. Gives everybody a test. Charlie Martin-Stuart from Huddersfield, well, he is all action. He wants to put on a show tonight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the action here at the Fight Zone Arena, Sheffield. Would you please welcome to the ring from Brierley Hill in the And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut from Huddersfield, Charlie Martin-Stuart. Ladies and gentlemen, live on Fight Zone from the Fight Zone Arena, Sheffield, Dennis Hobson for Fight Academy, sponsored by JJ Crump and Son and Betfred. Very proud to bring you 4 3-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Timekeeper Phil Morris, referee Darren Sargentson. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the white shorts trimmed with the English and Union flag, weighing at 10 stone 8 pounds 5 ounces, comes to the ring this evening, 64th professional contest from Brierley Hill in the West Midlands, MJ Hall. And across the ring in the blue corner, wearing black with gold, official weight 10 stone 7 pounds and 8 ounces. Tonight he makes his professional debut in the ring from Huddersfield, Yorkshire, Charlie Martin-Stuart.
Round 1.
Well, our second bout of the night here on Fight Zone, your new home of British boxing. Sunny Sheffield, the Fight Zone Arena, just a few hundred yards from the Sheffield Arena. And a debut for Charlie Martin-Stuart from Huddersfield against another road warrior, MJ Hall, who was here a couple of weeks ago. Took on James Moorcroft. I had a word with him afterwards. He was really impressed with Moorcroft. But of course, he heard that final bell, as he tends to, from Charlie Martin-Stuart. A tough debut.
Yeah, I think MJ Hall is a very well and highly respected fighter on the circuit. He's very tough. He's a very capable boxer as well, much like Jamie Quinn. He can box, you know. He's a very good boxer. He doesn't get hit a lot. When he does, he handles it just fine. He gives a little smile. It's okay. I'll have a bit more of that. When you're looking on when I'm looking on BoxRec and I'm looking at the likes of Jamie Quinn, the people that stop him, they tend to be a little bit special. You know, they tend to be a little bit about him. So the task tonight for Charlie Martin-Stuart is, can he get MJ Hall out of there? I guess that's what we're watching this for.
Yep. Very talented amateur. Charlie, 25 years of age, trained by Brandon and Dennis Doyle. Started boxing at the Gladiators gym.
He started off really well. He's put his shots together. He's nice and compact. The one thing you can never tell on the outside looking in, when I'm watching boxing, I realise over time you can never really work out a man's power or his physical strength on the outside looking in. But so far he looks compact, looks physically strong. He looks like he must have had a few amateur fights, because he looks, you know, his job is digging the body. He's moving around MJ Hall well, and looks to be giving MJ Hall a bit of a hard first round, to be honest.
He will drop down as well. This one at welter, this 4 3-minute rounds scheduled for, but he aims to campaign at super lightweight. After a little while, wants to obviously stick at the weight he's at, just ease himself in, then drop down.
You can tell when these experienced journeyman tags, you can always tell when they're watching a kid that's not bad, because they tend to do a lot of holding, a lot of messing about, a lot of fooling around, and that's their way of saying, a journeyman did that to me when I was boxing starting out, or I see it on the TV, I think this kid must be decent, he must have a bit of power, because the journeymen do that when they're trying to steal a little bit of a break, or they're trying to have a rest, or they're trying to get a little breather. And this first round for MJ has been a lot more difficult than he may have anticipated. I'm really impressed with his inside work. He's moving around lovely up close. He looks good. If he could get a nice solid jab in there and work off that, do all the good work after he's thrown a nice solid jab, he'd be looking really well.
Well, he aims to be an entertainer. His amateur style was high tempo. Is he entertaining Dave the White Rhino Allen?
He's impressing me. Yeah, you know, when you're making your debut against MJ Hall and he's had 60 odd amateur professional fights, it's an hard night, you know, because the most difficult time to box an MJ Hall, a Jamie Quinn, Willie Warburton back in the day, and whatever else, is your debut, because they can beat you on your debut. You know, they're thinking, we can beat you and no one's going to worry about boxing us next week because your debut will just say you weren't that good. So it's always the most worrying time to box is on your debut. But so far, he's impressed me, yeah. I would like him to get behind a good solid jab. It's not all about entertaining. Boxing, first and foremost, Dom, no matter anyone says, it's about winning. Not entertaining, it's about winning. So get behind a solid jab and do all this good work off a solid jab. He'd be giving MJ a lot of problems.
Well, if he could stop MJ, it would be some statement, as you say. The only people that have managed to do that, Anthony Tomlinson, who we saw in action here at the Fight Zone Arena a couple of weeks ago. Also, Ryan Oliver, who we'll be seeing shortly from Ashton-under-Lyne, good fighter. Conor Venn, Tom Hill, Stevie McKenna, who's a real talent, very hard-hitting, the man from Monaghan. So that's the calibre of opponent that can get him out of there. But as you say, few and far between.
I spoke to MJ earlier. He's not impressed with McKenna. He wants the rematch. He told me he wants the rematch. He said he won't stop me in a million years again if I had 2 good hands. He spoke very highly of James Moorcroft, said he was a great performance last week, said very accurate. Anthony Tomlinson, as we know, one of the biggest punchers domestically in the welterweight division. So, yeah, but he started off really well. Charlie Martin-Stuart. I've been really impressed with him. He looks really compact. He's a really neat, steady boxer. He's digging the body. I'm impressed with him, Dom. I'm talking a lot. I must be.
Lets the hands go. Well, he's caught a couple on the way in.
That's over-eagerness, you know. That's where you say, you know what, I've been caught one. Let me get behind my jab now, you know. He looks to have a lot of experience. The way he's working inside and stuff, this is obviously a man that's had a lot of amateur fights. He must know, get behind a solid jab. You don't want to be taking shots here in your career, why would you?
26 amateur fights.
Look at my nose, Dom. Why take shots this early? You don't want a nose like this. Get behind the jab. You shouldn't be getting it against these kinds of opponents when you're starting out. You want to be boxing and not getting it. You want to be saving getting it when you're having proper fights for titles and stuff.
As you say, you only have one debut. He is eager. It's understandable. Certainly some good shot selection in there, good body work.
He does some lovely work. Does some really, really nice work, you know. And if he did all that of a solid jab that was busting his face up and making him worry about it, he would get his shots off a lot cleaner inside as well while he was doing that work. If he had MJ worrying about the stiff jab coming in his face, when he gets off, there would be no rest. At the minute, MJ's getting a rest in between the good work inside. He's getting a rest because there is no jab coming into his face.
Sinks in the body shots again. Charlie Martin-Stuart. MJ is back with one of his own. You can hear the effort he's putting into every blow. We can hear it clearly from our commentary position.
Now it gets interesting because he's done 2 rounds. He put everything into it and he has looked great. He boxed really well for the first 2 rounds and now he looks to be pushing his punches a little bit. Now he's got 2 rounds to go. Now he must win at least one of these in order to get the victory. Now MJ's sat there. Well, he stood up. He's thinking, you know what, this kid's tiring. Let's push him. I guarantee MJ will come out for the 3rd round. He'll come out a little bit quicker. And he'll give him a little bit of a test this round. It'll be interesting how Charlie Martin answers it.
Southpaw, of course, MJ Hall, which can cause many a fighter problems in itself.
I like MJ. I'm friends with a lot of the journeymen. You know, you go around the circuit and you meet them all, and MJ's a lovely fella. You know, you see him outside there and he wears his glasses. Doesn't look like much at all. Gets in the ring. He's one of the bravest, hardest men in British boxing.
Good to see him back here at the Fight Zone Arena. And good to see these debutants like Charlie Martin-Stuart. Just $4.99, Dave Allen. $4.99 to subscribe to Fight Zone. You get a fight every Friday, a bonus Saturday like we're having tomorrow. Dear me.
John Fuchs badly escaped $4.99. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. That's 2 fights.
And that's not even the main event of Charlie Schofield against Mickey Ellison. So
or Chris Healy and Danny Whitaker. Can you believe it?
And those two are promising a barnstormer like they had the first time. 2 rematches to top the night off as well. What's better than that? And to see this emerging talent like Charlie Martin-Stuart.
He definitely started to tire a little bit. I think he put a lot into the first 2 rounds as you do his debut, a bit eager and a bit excited. He's still well on top, but you can see MJ now. He's starting to control things a little more. He's starting the first round, halfway through the second round. I was thinking MJ's a little bit uncomfortable, which he is because of the pace and stuff. But now he's got MJ seems to have it under control now, and he seems to have a little bit of success of his own, but not enough to beat the kid.
Again, it's fought at close quarters.
He does some lovely work inside, does some lovely work. Like I say, he's back in the gym, back on a jab, a good jab, you know, not a flailing kind of jab. I always go back to my own fight side, and usually it's when I was on the receiving end. When I boxed David Price, it was a proper jab. It was no range finder, no tapping. It was straight in the face, like an house brick in the face every time, and that's what you need to get to the top, I believe. A good jab.
You've had some great nights. That wasn't a pleasant one for you, was it, Dave?
Well, I say that, but walking out 20,000 people at the O2 a year before I was ready to retire, so I've got no complaints. And David Price is a nice fella, so wish I'd have beat him though.
Of course, you are being added to the roster of fighters that will fight on Fightzone, so we look forward to that, Dave. And in the meantime, enjoying all the action in sunny Sheffield. A good solid debut from Charlie Martin-Stuart.
Yeah, he's boxed well. In spells he's looked very, very, very good, you know, in spells. Starting to tire now. Like you say, if he's a natural light welter, MJ's been up to light middle and middle, so it will be a difficult night for him.
Still sinking those shots to the body, just still getting caught the odd time by MJ. And Hitman blazing across the back of the band on Martin-Stuart's shorts.
Another round. Yeah, another round for him. Another round for him. 3 rounds to 0. He boxed well. He'll learn a lot from this. You know, a lot of it is pacing yourself. You know, 26 amateur fights. You're doing 3 2-minute rounds, 3 3-minute rounds max. All of a sudden doing 4 3-minute rounds with a fella that seemingly is made out of rubber. So it's a difficult thing mentally and physically.
th professional fight for MJ Hall tonight.
He's done that in pretty quick time as well. Without COVID, he'd be knocking 100 up already.
He's 29 years of age now. Still got a good few years on this circuit.
29? Never. About 39.
Tell him you said that. So the 4th and final round.
He's a lovely body puncher. He's a very natural body puncher. 26 fights, he's experienced, but he's not the most experienced man in the world, but he just a lovely natural body puncher, you know. And I don't believe you can teach body punching, you can teach anything, Don, but the way he does it is he's very natural with it.
The other fella that went by the name of Hitman wasn't too bad. Ricky.
Oh, Ricky or Tommy?
Well, both of them, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's more like a Ricky, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see that that's kind of what he's going for. You know, I would hate to say that Ricky had a mauling style, because Ricky was a top-class boxer as well as great at everything else that he did.
An underrated boxer.
Oh, Ricky was a fantastic boxer. He was
more known for his being the fighter, as you say.
was a great amateur boxer, an absolutely fantastic amateur boxer.
Well, bronze medalist in the World Youth Championships in Cuba.
But you can see with Charlie Martin, he probably is a Ricky Hatton fan. You know, he has got all the Ricky Hatton moves there. So, but Ricky had a great jab. Ricky was in and out of his feet, he was darting in and out of a stiff jab, and off the darting movement and the stiff jab, then he would go left and right, and then he would attack the body and go left and right.
Well, MJ Hall just uses his body well when he needs to lean on a fighter just to give himself that little bit of respite.
Just a very experienced fighter now. Like I say, 64 fights. He knows every trick in the book. And really, all he wants to do is see the final bell and fight again next week, you know. And maybe
showboating in there now with the arms behind the back. And
it's got easy for him now at this stage. In the 4th round, Charlie Martin came out, he put everything into it, and he started to tire with the eagerness. It's the pro debut, the nerves. And now MJ's starting to enjoy it. He didn't enjoy the 1st round though.
The pace certainly has dipped. The lights and the sunshine of Sheffield makes it very warm in that ring tonight. And we see a final flurry from Martin-Stuart. He edges forward again. And MJ Hall does hear that final bell. Charlie Martin-Stuart has got the debut out of the way. And how would you assess that as a debut, Dave?
Look, he did well. There's definitely something to work with there. He's got a lot of natural ability. Straight back to the gym. Fight number 2, fight number 3, fight number 4, and see how he improves and see where he goes. But he's not bad at all.
Darren Sargison is our scoring referee. Plenty of action here on Fight Zone. We've got another debutant, John Carpenter, in action. But here's the showboating from MJ. He was enjoying himself in that 4th round, as you say, Dave.
Yeah, you know, by round 4, Charlie Martin had kind of took his foot off the gas a little bit, and MJ started to enjoy it.
Well, still free to air on Fight Zone, but of course the main event tonight, Charlie Schofield against Mickey Ellison. A rematch. Prior to that, we have a central area heavyweight clash, Danny Whitaker and Chris Healy. But we have the referee ready, the fighters are ready, so is our MC, Craig Stephen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, 4 rounds of boxing. We go to a referee, Darren Sargent's scorecard that reads 40 points to 36 in favour of the winner. The professional journey starts tonight for Huddersfield's Charlie Martin-Stuart. And please keep the applause going for MJ Hall.
Yeah, congratulations to Charlie Martin-Stuart. Good debut, and he is up and running in the professional ranks, 1-0. We'll know he's been in a contest, as everybody that comes across MJ Hall will know. Tough, durable man, 60-odd professional fights. You learn a lot of tricks, I'm pretty sure. Charlie Martin-Stuart's probably learnt 1 or 2. You could learn a lot from this fella alongside me, Anthony Crolla, former world champion, of course, now a trainer. Spoke to you a couple of weeks ago in the wind and the rain here, Ant.
It's a little bit nicer tonight, isn't it?
Bit nicer tonight, bit nice. And obviously your boy also fought MJ Hall. Did he find that quite an instructive debut himself?
Yeah,
it's, James?
yeah. Well, listen, I always say, like, MJ Hall, you've got one of the very best journeymen in Britain there, and I thought young Charlie done very well there. And you can see on his shorts he had Hitman blazing the cross, and you could see some of the Ricky Hatton moves. He was looking to go body, but yeah, I think you've got to give a shout to MJ Hall. He's here every other week, and he's putting these prospects through the mill, teaching them lessons, and yeah, very good debut.
Yeah, and James, your boy James Moorcroft, took a lot, I'm sure, from his meeting.
Yeah,
he
did, and I said, to James after, I said, you've got to take it as a massive compliment when a lad like Matthew, he's saying he's one of the very best kids he's been in with, so I think he took a lot from that, and now with James, we're going to look to push on to, domestic titles. We'll see here. Charlie working away. All all the time. He gets that right hand across against the southpaw stance off Matthew. And a good shot of his own.
Yeah, he did.
He took one. Like you say, it was a good debut, and he was also reminded, his opponent was still in there again with the jab there. But he picked some nice shots out, did Charlie?
Yeah, he looks strong, doesn't he? You pointed out, and he talks about himself as a high-tempo fighter. He wants to smother and fuck you really, run you down.
He did, and he was looking, like I say, he'd out-hustle a lot of opponents there. And like I said, I thought it was a great debut. A very good, credible first opponent in MJ Hall. And like I say, onwards and upwards now for the lad.
Do you remember your debut?
I do, I remember it well. It was at the Manchester Arena, and there was that something what you call a floater. And I ended up going on. It can either be brilliant, or it can end up going on after the main event. And that's what happened. Joe Calzaghe went to punch Sakio Bika, so I went out just before, I was out like near midnight just before the cleaners come in.
Stay there, Ant. We'll talk more in a moment, but let's hear from the winner, Charlie Martin-Stuart's with Dom.
Well, Charlie, you got the debut out of the way. The professional journey has started now. How did you feel in there?
I felt sharp, strong, a little bit scruffy and scrappy, but it's debut, live and you learn, so roll on the next one.
And MJ Hall is not easy for anyone to get in there, and I think that obviously he's naturally the bigger man and everything. Did you feel that in there?
Definitely his size, well, his height, definitely. He kept obviously leaning on to me all the time, and it definitely worked tiring me out, but I managed to get the win, so that's all that counts.
Well, he's clever. It's a tough debut, but you got the 4 rounds in the bag as well. Good inside work, and I know you got Hitman on the back of your shorts. There's plenty of Ricky Hatton moves in there.
That's it, you clocked on, yeah.
So that's the body work. That's something that you enjoy. I mean, you've had 26 amateur fights. I know your high-tempo style was something you want to bring into the pro ring. We can see that the body shots are what you like to do, hook to the body. But again, I think Dave Allen in commentary mentioned he'd like to see more of a jab from you as well, though. He was praising your work, but he wants to see more of a jab.
Yeah. Kind words, obviously. But every time I went back to the corner, it was try boxing at range. I know I can fight on the inside, and I know I can do it well. So obviously back to the drawing board and just try work on that more of a rangy style, and obviously incorporate that into future fights. Not a bad setting for your debut. It's even come out the sun for you tonight in Sheffield. This Fightzone arena. How did it feel to be fighting outside on a debut on Fightzone? Well, me and my coach were talking actually, and a high percentage of professional boxers will never ever see an event like this in the whole career. So for me to start off on something like this is absolutely extraordinary, and I'd just like to obviously give biggest congratulations to Kevin for sorting it out. That's your manager, Kevin Marie, of course. He's a busy man tonight, plenty of fighters on the card. And you can now get changed, look forward to the rest of the action. We've got plenty of top quality coming up on Fightzone. Definitely, that's it, man. All right, well, pizza and ice cream this weekend. Well, you deserve it. Well done. Thank you very much.
It is an ice cream weekend, and I think Charlie Martin-Stuart has earned his ice cream after his performance in the ring. Now, you got another of your fighters in tomorrow? He does. I'm back here tomorrow with Jake James, who's fighting early on in the card tomorrow. First time back out after 18 months. Right. Talented lad, great boxing IQ, and it's just good to see him back out. Yeah, it must have been extremely difficult for every fighter. Obviously, some can afford it more than others, the ones that have had success before the COVID hit, but those that are really literally scraping and living out of boxing, almost of course impossible. Early on, and Jake's not a full-time professional. He has to work, he has bills to pay, and he has a job as well. So thankfully, he had that to keep him going, and it was hard for him. And I think he won't mind me saying he did it. He stopped living like an athlete should do, and he ballooned up far too heavy. But we've got his weight down to near where we want it to be. Right. But the main thing is now he's back out, and hopefully now he knows he has to absolutely live the life of a professional fighter from now on. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, activity is what boxers live and breathe on. They need to be in a ring. It's what you're designing them to do now. No, of course, that's the end product of a camp, and I think so many fighters struggled where there was, I'm training, but what am I training for? And it's good to have that the importance of being in the gym when you've not got a date coming up, especially so early on in your career. But I sympathise with so many young professionals who've been inactive since the pandemic struck. And you enjoy the training? I love it, yeah. It's very different, but it certainly helps fill a huge void in my life of not being a professional fighter no more.
I get asked all the time, do I miss it? And, you know, hand on heart, I don't.
No.
I genuinely, I'm always around boxing. Listen, I'll miss the big nights, the special nights, but I've been in the gym every day, you know, around the gym banter and still being around the big nights in a different role, then yeah, it's great.
I thought it was interesting, Kieran McVarnock spoke last week about the selfishness you need to be a professional fighter, and at the end of your career you can start to give back because you are a taker really as a fighter. You put yourself in a little island.
Totally, yeah, and I think now, like say, I've got the gym, which I got really from my old amateur club.
Yep.
But I've always helped out a little bit with them, but I can be a little bit more hands-on with them now. One of the coaches there, and obviously professional fighters, my own, and hopefully that I can, some of the experiences I had as a professional fighter can now sort of help some of my fighters who are going to go through similar experiences.
Yeah, and of course important that the platform's there, that a Fightzone or whatever else,
absolutely,
you know, these vehicles are here to give young fighters a chance.
I've been singing the praises of Fightzone from day one, really, and I genuinely mean it because, well, I say I had a fighter on 2 weeks ago, I've got a fighter on tomorrow night. They wouldn't be out otherwise. And almost every fighter who's been on the show so far, they would be without work, and it stops a lot of young, talented professionals walking away from the sport.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well said, well said. OK, let's get the last two fighters for the undercard out there at the light heavyweight division. John Carpenter making his debut, and Dom's got all the details.
Yes, thank you, Matt. We look forward to another cracking contest and another debut. John Carpenter from Dublin takes on Ryan Hibbert from Earlham in Salford. So a test for him. Ryan, a good operator, but what does John Carpenter have to offer the light heavyweight division? No amateur fights. Trained by Peter Taylor, who won't be in the corner tonight. He's not been in the bubble this week. But a real prospect. Always great to see the prospects here on Fightzone.
Well, welcome back to the action here at the Fightzone Arena. Welcome to our viewers joining us at home on Fightzone. And a very special welcome to our newest subscribers joining us across the Irish Sea. This is one of the ones you've been waiting for. Please welcome firstly, from Manchester, Ryan Hibbert. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to make his ring walk on his professional debut, from Dublin, Ireland, John Carpenter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Hobson Promotions for Fight Academy, sponsored by JJ Crump & Son. Enable Link and Betfred is very proud to bring you 6 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Our timekeeper for this one, Mr. Chris Hancock. A referee in charge, Mr. Darren Sargentson. Correction on the time, ladies and gentlemen. A referee's telling me it is 4 3-minute rounds. Introducing, firstly, boxing out of the red corner, wearing black, white and gold, weighing in at 12 stone, 8 pounds 6 ounces. Coming to the ring in his 11th professional contest from Earlham, Manchester, Ryan Hibbert. And across the ring in the blue corner, wearing black with red, weighing in at 12 stone, 8 pounds, 8 ounces. Tonight, this boxer makes his professional debut in the ring from Dublin, Ireland, John Carpenter.
Seconds out, round 1.
Well, on we go. 4 3-minute rounds, the light heavyweight division. And the debutant wearing the black shorts with red panel from Dublin, John Carpenter, against Salford's Ryan Hibbert. With the white cross down either panel. And Carpenter, well, he's brought a few over from Dublin with him. Always interesting to see a man make his debut, but this is a fellow without any amateur experience, Dave, but excited to throw him in there, his camp from Dublin.
Yeah, no amateur experience is a weird one. You don't see many of them. You know, you see come from kickboxing backgrounds maybe and other forms of martial arts, but you've not made a bad start, you know, for a fellow with no experience. But the 4 3-minute rounds will get hard for him. You know, without that amateur background, it will be difficult for him to. It'll be interesting if this goes 2 or 3 rounds.
Well, he's just landed his first meaningful blow, urged on by his support that have made the journey to the Fightzone Arena here in Sheffield, and he's trained by Peter Taylor. Peter knows a thing or two about top fighters. Father, of course, of the superstar that is Katie Taylor.
Yeah, he's one of the best coaches, I believe, in Europe, let's say. He trains Tommy McCarthy, big up Tommy McCarthy, big fan of Tommy McCarthy, doing a great job, European champion after 2 defeats. Peter's one of the best in the business.
He seems to have some spite there as Carpenter goes to work. With solid blows.
He's definitely a naturally very strong man, very heavy-handed, you know. He's obviously come to boxing late and he has got them attributes. So, you know, they've probably just said, look, you've got a future, you can do something. So he's definitely got the confidence.
I was going to say, there's no slacking there. A little bit of showboating. This is his debut, so he's controlling those nerves, let's say.
He's doing very well, you know. The opponent's not really giving much to think about at the minute. It'll be interesting if Mr. Hibbert, you know, starts to throw some punches and get into the fight, what will happen. But if Ryan doesn't start to do that, he's going to have a very long night, I think.
Well, this is Hibbert's 11th bout as a pro. He stopped him around in his last bout against Karol Atoma. He's facing Carpenter, who's got heavy hands, no doubt about that. There's another light heavyweight in the Carpenter camp. I noticed Steve Collins Jr.
Just seen him actually, yeah. I believe he's fighting Ian Martel,
who's a real prospect, who was devastating here at the Fightzone Arena a couple of weeks ago.
That's a very interesting fight, yeah.
And that's an interesting round for John Carpenter. How do you assess that one, Dave?
I thought it looked really well. If you wanted to have no experience, I would have thought, you know, you can see he's a bit novice-y, but what do you expect out of him? He looks very physically strong. You know, he's heavy-handed, and he's won the first round of his professional career. What more can you ask for?
26 years of age. And what is an excellent division in the UK and Ireland. I mean, there's so much talent. Far too soon. He's just on his debut, of course, but we do get giddy when we look at debutants and prospects and we think about domestic matchups and people that can go in with, as you say now, Ian Martel going in with Steve Collins Jr. potentially. And the top of the tree, the light heavy. It's incredible in Britain.
Unbelievable. Callum Johnson, Boatsy, Yard, Lyndon Arthur. You know, this fella is a complete raw novice. You know, he's between 5 and 7 years at that level. If you've got that level's so high. But like you say, for me, it looks really well. Really impressed with him. You know, he's using his jab. Like you say, he's heavy-handed off the back of it. He's got good footwork. He's in and out of distance. See, Peter's done some good work with him.
Well, with the team around him, that gives you a clue that he's got to be half good. And then he shifted a good few tickets in these tricky times. People coming over from Dublin, not so easy. So, you know, he obviously fancies a big future, and that's a good, solid jab that just rocks the head of Hibbert back.
Yeah, you know, you wouldn't want to put your non-bouter kid in with him as amateur, would you?
He's showing patience as well. Decent speed, fast hands from Carpenter.
I do think, though, as a novice, you know, when you are starting out in boxing, the hardest thing to do is work on the defence, you know, because anyone can throw a punch, really. You know, he's throwing them with good technique for the experience he has, but it's when the punches come back is the difficult thing. That's the thing that takes years and years to try and to learn your craft with. So it'd be interesting if Ryan Hibbert does form some kind of offence, but to be honest, John's not really giving him much chance to do so.
Moving well out of range and measuring the distance well, Carpenter. Big overhand right, works head and body.
He looks well, he's in great physical condition as well. He looks very fit. He surprised me, actually. He surprised me how well he's looked. He's looked the part.
Good right hand again from Carpenter. Hibbert just has to cover up, get on his bike a bit. Good snappy jab through the guard. And again, getting out of distance himself. Ends around again with a good, solid jab. And what did he say about the jab taking you around the world, Dave?
It took me off my street, at least, as far as it got me. But for the experience he's got, I've been really, really, really impressed with him. But like you say, when you've got a team like that around you, you know, you've got to know that you're dealing with someone that you can't be off by, because he wouldn't waste his time.
Some snappy work in there. Again, Hibbert feeling the full force of a very stiff jab at times.
He's clearly a very strong man, clearly a very physically strong man. He's heavy-handed, so far so good.
Well, still free to air for this fight. John Carpenter against Salford's Ryan Hibbert, but of course the main card comes into play after this one. But just $4.99 to subscribe for a month of action, and we really do mean action every single Friday, and the odd bonus Saturday like we have this weekend.
I've just seen Chris Healy, and I said, "How fit are you, Chris?" And he said, "I'm very fit." So I'm fit enough, with his words. I'm fit enough. So I'm expecting a very, very good fight, because like you said, the last fight was the fight of the year, and Chris wasn't even fit. So I'm expecting a really, really entertaining fight there.
Well, that is Danny Whitaker against Chris Healy for that Central Area Heavyweight title. A rematch, as is the main event. Charlie Schofield against Mickey Ellison. Mickey Ellison just nicking it last time. Schofield wants revenge. And that's before we talk about Bradley Skeet. That's before we talk about John Fuchs. It's before we talk about other top talent. Joe Garside, Josh Cook. John Patrick Harker takes on Brett Fido, of course, much travelled fantastic night of action ahead.
You know the fight I'm really looking forward to is Joe Garside, Josh Cook. I have no idea about any of them. They're both debutants. They could be top class. They could not be. But one thing I do know is they're both going to be trained 100% to win.
Still to come here on Fight Zone. All the details, fightzone.uk. It's more the same from Carpenter. He's not taking anything really from Hibbert, but he's landing. That little lean back has worked so well for him. Gets the shots off, just out of range.
He's jabbing the body, he's moving his head, he's in and out of distance. He's not bad for just a professional boxer. So for the experience he's got, he's very good. He's obviously a quick learner, and it'll be interesting to see where he goes in the next 12 months. For him to be fighting tonight, I wonder what happens in the spars with Steve Collins Jr. Must be interesting. Must be having some success. He must be doing well in the gym for him to be taking his chance tonight.
Another big right hand from Carpenter.
I do hope he's appreciative that he will have much harder nights than this, though.
Ryan Hibbert, good solid pro. This is 11th bout. He's had the arm raised just the once, but knows what he's doing. And another good round for John Carpenter. Well in control, you'd say, Dave?
Yeah, he's winning every round. He's winning comfortably. There's not much coming back from Ryan Hibbert, to be honest, but I think he was put in the shell early on in the first round by the offensive work of Carpenter, because he's really impressed.
Peter Taylor giving plenty of instruction to John Carpenter. Does this make you want to jump in the ring and have a little move around yourself, Dave? The sunshine, the arena, the fans back.
Well, it's much easier doing this commentary job. But yeah, I can't think of anywhere I would rather be than in that ring right now. You know, the sun on my back. I wouldn't mind being in there with someone I could definitely beat up a little bit, but yeah, you know,
you're a horrible bully, aren't you?
Absolutely. I've been bullied a lot in my life. I like to give it out sometimes as well, but the opportunity to box outside. Some of the people on this bill, you know, not all these going to scale the heights of the big arenas and stuff. This will be a career. I like getting to boxing shows like this in an outdoor arena with the sun on your back on the same card as Bradley Skeet and John Fuchs.
Exactly what Charlie Martin-Stuart said in his post-fight interview on his debut. Now really Carpenter going to work, and Hibbert has felt the full force of Carpenter. And again's really in all sorts of trouble now in the fourth and final round, and John Carpenter's already made something of a statement, but he wants to make a bigger one and have an early night, urged on by his travelling band of supporters here tonight at the Fight Zone Arena.
With experience, he would have got him out of there then, you know, but for the lack of experience he's got, this is a seriously impressive performance. He's getting a pro with 10 bouts. He's controlling him. He's near him out there a few times. He's obviously got a lot of natural power and strength. It'll be interesting to see what Ryan Hibbert says about him.
Oh, a huge right again, and Hibbert is rocked to the ropes. And still, well, 90 seconds of the round remaining. Bad intentions from Carpenter. Good body work. Slaps it into the left side of the body of Hibbert. Good stiff jab. Another big right hand again from Carpenter, but again showing patience. Would you feel he should be more on the front foot when he's landing those heavy shots?
I think with a man with no amateur fight, no professional fight, he needs more rounds. Every round he can get, every second in that ring is valuable for him tonight. You know, on to fight 2. The opposition is going to increase. I've been absolutely massively impressed by him. I can't believe how good he's been, to be honest. He's been measured. You know, I do think with a bit more experience behind him, we would have got the stoppage. But
and Hibbert in trouble again, and it's a big left hand that just flicked the head back of the man from Salford, who's got to cover up now. He, well, will hear the final bell, but it's been a very uncomfortable 4th round for Ryan Hibbert, and John Carpenter throwing leather right till the bell. An excellent debut from him. Both men pay respect. Kevin Marie there in the corner of Ryan Hibbert. And it's a good night's work for him. And a fair statement for a man making his debut in the light heavyweight division. Good, solid work from Carpenter all the way through. Good stiff jab and plenty of spite in the right hand.
Ooh. Well, it was a very good performance, you know, very measured. And I don't think not getting the stoppage is not the worst result in the world.
Well, Hibbert is tough, as he proved. Took some big right hands from Carpenter, particularly in that 4th round. But he got through it.
He's done well to get through it. Well,
Darren Sargentson, the scoring referee, has completed his notes. I think we can take a good guess as to what we're going to hear now. The fighters, well, Ryan Hibbert just been called to the centre of the ring, but we can cross now to RMC, Craig Stephen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Fight Zone Arena, Sheffield, we go to the referee Darren Sargentson's scorecard. It reads 40-36 in favour of the winner. Professional journey starts tonight for Dublin, Ireland's John Carpenter. And please show your appreciation, Manchester's Ryan Hibbert.
Debut from John Carpenter, who's clearly brought 1 or 2 with him from Dublin. They are cheering their man out of the ring, and obviously, yes, absolutely a warm support really to Ryan Hibbert. Another impressive journeyman. We've seen a few of those already here this evening. You'll see alongside me Rob Rimmer as well as Ant Cruller. Rob obviously has got Charlie Schofield fighting later, got the shirt on. Yeah. Team Schofield with the rematch against Mickey Ellison. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. You know, it's going to. The first fight was a tasty one. You know, there's a lot of mixed opinions, but this time round, I think you're going to see an even better Charlie Schofield, a more rounded fighter. He's grown into the super middleweight nicely. So I think, you know, it's good. You look at the sun shining. Yeah. It's a great night. Everyone's bouncing. So everyone will get behind him. I think you're going to see a great performance.
Would you have enjoyed a night like this, Dan? Would you like this outdoor?
Mate, just a bit. It's just a little bit nice. Like I said earlier, when I was here 2 weeks ago, it's great listening to everyone's here, enjoying the boxing, having a drink. Why not? And there's some great fights to look forward to, none other than the main event. Yeah. But the boys, I think, like I say, the first fight was a fantastic fight, and I know Charlie, they're very confident, and Mickey and Johnny, they are, so I think it can't help but be a great fight.
Do you think it's tight?
I do think it's tight. Obviously, I think, Rob, they're very confident they'll go away, and they made much improvements. I was going to ask Rob, what do you see as being the biggest improvement in Charlie in the past 18 months since the first fight?
Do you know what? He's got great attributes. You know, he's tall, he's 6'4", he's
just
ranger.
Using them well.
And just listen, you know, he's an absolute monster at super middleweight, and just using his attributes, you know, to the best of his ability. You know, we can make this fight very easy in my eyes. You know, if he uses them. And you know, we speed up the feet. We've got him sitting on shots a lot more, and using that jab to full effect. So again, you know, if he uses, and he does everything that I've seen him do in the gym over the last 4 or 5 weeks, you know, I think you're going to see a real good performance. I mean, Charlie's not known as a puncher, but he's dropped 2 kids during sparring this camp.
Yeah.
And I know sparring counts for nothing, but his confidence is through the roof. So, you know, that says a lot. Timing's everything. So, I think this is his time.
And has he made the weight all right? Because obviously he's a big lad to be fighting at super middle.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is another thing as well. He's had a long layoff, but this is a fighter that absolutely lives it. He breathes the sport, you know. So in his eyes, he's not one of these fighters that goes out, balloons up in weight. You know, he's lived it, and his weight's his opportunity. And like I said, I've had him in the gym throughout.
Yeah.
You know, keep working, and the weight's never been an issue. As you've seen him on the scales, he looks absolutely bang on. 12 stone, bang on the limit. And you know, this time off, he's used it wisely to grow right into the weight. So, yeah, that's been fine.
Something about a rematch. When the first one's tight, you always want that little bit more, don't you? You want to just try and put the doubters to rest. So it's one to look forward to. Whets the appetite.
It does, without a doubt. And like I said, you can see sort of the confidence in both camps. They both feel they've gone away, made the improvements. Last time was close. That's why I see this time again. It's just who's gone away, made the better of, you know, of the improvements. And I'm looking forward to it. Looking to be here to see it.
Of course, that's going to top the bill. We'll talk about the other fights in a moment, but I think John Carpenter is ready to have a chat with Dom, the winner of our last fight. Dom.
Well, John, plenty of well wishes here. I was going to get to your support in a minute, but firstly, that was a very impressive debut. How did you feel in there?
Very good. Well, I can't ask for any more than that, to be honest. I haven't had any amateur experience. It's my first fight. It's throwing me breathing before I go in, so it worked out well for me.
Now, no amateur experience, and Dave Allen was in commentary with us. Again, he was so impressed because he couldn't really believe you hadn't had any amateur. So obviously been doing plenty of work in the gym, and obviously when we see Peter Taylor in the corner and we see Steve Collins Jr. in your camp, we know there must be something going on with you. So it's all been done in the gym.
Yeah, look, the people in the gym can't ask for any more better teammates. They're all world level in my eyes, and anyway, I wouldn't be this far without them. So it's I've them to thank, and Peter, Sputch and Mark, all the lads around me, Stevie, who got me this fight, and they're just happy, so happy to be here and to be a part of this show, because I know it's such a big one. I'm such gratitude.
You must have fancied getting him out there in the 4th round as well. You landed some big
shots.
What,
our game plan was actually just stick him on the jab. I didn't want to go in there 4th round KO because I actually wouldn't have known the skills I had. So I was happy with the first 2 rounds, and then I started throwing right hands and I connected them, so I was pretty much happy with how it happened. Now, probably in the 4th round I would have looked to knock him out, but it just comes with experience of stepping back and getting stuck in again. So a bit messy at the end, but I'm happy anyway, all overall.
It is all about experience, obviously, but without that amateur background, now you made your pro debut. How quickly do you want to move?
Not that quickly, in fairness. I want to take my time. We have a plan. First few fights will be nice and steady like them ones. I won't be calling out anyone drastically in any way, but we'll start slow and work our way to the top.
And good to be on the Fight Zone platform in this arena as well tonight in sunny Sheffield.
Especially with the good weather, you know.
And just tell me about your support, because it's not easy travelling at the moment. We know that. It's tricky for everybody, but you've brought a few over with you as well. And again, that's a great sign for yourself. And it was also something that we thought, well, there's something about this fella. He's got a decent support already.
Yeah, well, I'm a lookable fella, and my friends and family, they all love me, so I'm happy to... I'm happy... Yeah, they hear from me all the time. Ready back up. Yeah, no, but there you go, says it all.
Yeah, Canelo next. All right, we'll try and bring Canelo to Fight Zone for you, or we'll leave it a little while. We'll leave it a little while. Well, well done tonight. Brilliant debut.
Thanks very much, mate. Thank you very much.
Hasn't he, John Carpenter? And there's a good number in, as you'd expect in the sunshine on a Friday evening in Sheffield. We are set then for the main card, which looks like that. Debuts galore in the early fights for Joe Garside and Josh Cook. John Patrick Harker, another debutant. He takes on Brett Fido. And then names you'll recognise, I'm sure, boxing fans in. Bradley Skeet making a comeback at super welterweight now against Dale Aerosmith after at least 2.5 years out. And John Fuchs, it's nearly 8 years. But he apparently looks terrific, also at super welter up against Jordan Branham, and then real rematches to savour later. Danny Whittaker and Chris Healy at heavyweight for that Central Area title. And as discussed a couple of minutes ago with the boys here, Charlie Schofield and Mickey Ellison for the English super middleweight title, which is vacant. So one of those will have that belt tonight. I mean, 2.5 years is a long time, man. 7.5 years for John Fuchs, but you tell me he was a real talent.
Like, I think anyone in this arena tonight who knows John Fuchs will say he was a massive underachiever. I remember him in Kell fighting as amateurs. Him in Kell Brook, it was one apiece. They had massive hopes for him. I don't know, don't quote me on it, whether he got Young Boxer of the Year or he was certainly in the running. Big things was expected of John, and sadly didn't achieve them. But I think people going about Tyson Fury's comeback.
Yeah.
You know, the size of him. Listen, John's is every bit as impressive, and I mean that. Great to see him back, great to see him looking healthy, and hopefully he can put on a great performance tonight.
Yeah, and of course he trained Kell Brook, so
yes.
he's been outside the ropes, now wants to get back in.
Yeah, do you know, like I said before, I know I've watched him around the hotel this week, and he looks in real great shape. You know, the abs are popping through there. He's confident,
wow.
So I'm sure he's going to enjoy it. The night's perfect, you know. So I'm looking forward to it.
And Bradley Skeet too, obviously also someone that made great waves at welter, now going to come back at super welter.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent a lot of time over the last couple of days with Bradley. You know, and he's another one. He's absolutely looking forward to this. But you know, he's someone that's been there at that level, British Commonwealth champion, and I'm sure he's going to get right back in the mix.
Well, you mentioned obviously when you kind of know when you've done it and you're happy to step away. There's obviously an itch still in these two that needs scratching.
Well, certainly with Bradley, he said I didn't plan on having this long off. Then obviously again COVID struck.
Yes.
But he's just happy to be back, and he's got the ambitions what he always had. You know, he says, I want to be a world champion, but I certainly believe I can go out there, win a European title. And you win that European title, then a world title shot normally follows.
Yeah. Well, you've got Jake James tomorrow fighting.
Yes.
Early on tomorrow night, so do join us for that. And then obviously, Rob, you'll be ringside.
Yeah.
In, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. Can't wait to get back in the back soon now, and we'll get raving to go, mate.
Excellent. Delighted to see you, and good luck for later with Charlie.
All the best.
Charlie
Thanks very much,
Schofield
boys.
and Mickey Ellison. Thanks, boys, and thank you for the moment. Don't forget, from 7:30 live on Fightzone, the only way to watch that terrific card tonight, just $4.99, and we're back with more tomorrow, as Anthony has just explained with his fighter. You get all that for pennies, frankly, just pennies. See you at 7:30.
Perfect.
Let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone. 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 Please don't let me in. Yeah. Gon' play that. Take you down, I'ma say that. Might need me a couple dollars. Telling you now this payback. So I take that. Ask them now what say that. I've been going to the top and I got what they not, so I know that they hate that.